Hi friends, how are you? I am back with our weekly conversations. I do sound a little under the weather. I think it's gotta be something with the allergies. Y'all, California be crazy. But I am showing up for this week's Ask Me Anything. This is our opportunity to connect with questions that are driving you. Now, every week I start with a question of the day because while I love answering questions, I always want to ask you a question so I can get to know you better. So today's question of the day is, are you traveling anywhere this summer? My husband and I, we love taking trips. We love vacationing. Who doesn't? But we are in the process of adoption, and so we can't travel internationally with our daughter quite yet. And so we're just trying to do a little bit of staycations, places that we can kind of drive to and drive back within a weekend. A couple weeks ago, we stayed in Laguna Beach, which is like 15 minutes. But you want to know what? It was great to check into a hotel and just relax, but I want to know where you are going. Okay, every week I go live. You can leave your questions. I will do my best to answer them live. Yes, you will hear my daughter in the background. It is her lunchtime, and the queen has to eat, and mama has to work. So we're just going to show up as we can. So this question is focusing on Instagram updates. Keelan asked, with the new Instagram announcement, what percentage of our content should be photos and what percentage should be video? Now, I want to be very clear that when Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, came out and said that Instagram will no longer be a photo sharing platform, he did follow up on a different live and say photos aren't going anywhere, but they're going to be indexed differently within the algorithm. But I have to tell anybody who's interested, I believe it's everything we already saw coming. Just because Instagram made an announcement that they're going to be really heavily indexing on videos, like we already saw this coming. And when I say we, the people who are putting out videos and reels and going live. So you have long form video, anything over 60 seconds, a short form video, anything under 60 seconds. You have a live video. And then once you go live, you have the option to turn it into an IGTV. And you also have reels. And you could do like stories, like videos. So we already saw that Instagram was going the video route. Years before, we saw Facebook going the video route. Analytics and statistics show that more people are watching video on these platforms. And if you were putting out video, you would already know that that's the case. But let's just say you were not doing any video and you were only doing photos. Well, we'll take a deep breath and let you know and remind you that nothing changes overnight. It's not like Instagram tomorrow is going to be like, we're not showing photos. I believe Instagram will always show photos. But will they be as indexed as they were in the past? Probably not. However, the people who are doing really great, like people who have a ton of engagement and have like these really amazingly engaging photos, their photos are still going to be seen within the algorithm. Why? Because those people know how to use photos as a mechanism to drive engagement. But that's harder. Having a single photo drive engagement is harder than having, let's say, like a captivating reel. So going back to Keelan's question, Keelan was asking, well, what percentage should we have to videos and photos? And like the fact of the matter is, it's like we have to continue to create and iterate. The only way that you're gonna know how much video you should be having is if you're putting out video. And thank you. So JD is here and he's bringing me my phone and we're just trying to keep our sanity. This is us trying to run a business, me feeling slightly under the weather and having a baby who's finishing lunch. Welcome to my life. And you want to know what? I'm still going to show up and I'm still going to be creating content. So let's go back to where we left off, and that was Keelan asking, and my advice is to continue to create and iterate, because I don't want to say, because I don't believe, oh, your account in the future should be 70% video and 30% photos, or 95% videos and 5% photos. I would never say that. I would never give anybody a percentage. Why? Because we're all different, and some people might be stronger at creating video, and some people might be stronger at writing captions. You're going to start developing an audience, and your audience is going to let you know what they want to see more of. And based on what they want to see more of, that would then set the cadence for what you're going to do in the future. Okay, so speaking of the right audience followers, and y'all, ask your questions here in the comments. Pop them in. I will be able to answer to my best ability in real time. Finding the right audience. This is from Chrissy. Reels are cool, but how can we ensure that we are getting the right types of followers? Hashtags, content, and it's Yes. It's yes. And it will be yes. I always believe that I want to say yes to things, and I want to say yes to trying things, and I want to say yes to experimenting with things. But we also have to understand that social media is like our digital storefront. If, like, let's just say my Facebook page or my Instagram account. Hi, baby. Hi. Let's just say my Facebook page or my Instagram account is on Main Street USA as your Instagram account, right? So your Instagram account is across the street, and my Instagram account is here. And all of us have these Instagram stores. Now, if somebody walks into my store, I can kind of sort of hope that they could see by like the decor or the font or the colors. I would hope that they would come into my store and have an idea of what to expect. But if somebody walked into my store, came into my store, and then realized, oh, you know what, this is not for me, I wouldn't be offended. I would be like, yeah, my store isn't for you. So my objective when I create social content is to get my store in front of as many people as possible and then see who actually wants to stick around. So that is where we come out and having a conversation about discoverability versus connection. It's very likely that I will create a reel. There have been a couple reels that I've created that hit over 1 million views. And while in some respects you're like, wow, that's cool, great. But in other respects, I don't want to be popular on Instagram. I want to be profitable. And I don't want to grow an audience on Facebook. I want to drive connections. And I just don't want to have conversations on LinkedIn about business without really getting to know who's on the other side. So in my mind, using hashtags, virality, the content, all of that is great for getting discovered, right? When people discover you, that's awesome. But just because somebody discovers you doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to connect with you and in the future buy from you. So do I think it's great to be using content and hashtags and really tap into what are the trends to get more people on your account? Of course, that's great. But then the differentiating thing is going to be to create the type of content that will attract your dream customer. I'm going to be very honest and let you know that I absolutely positively know that even some of my own friends don't want to follow my Instagram account or my Facebook page because all I do is I talk about business. Are there different aspects of my life? Of course. Will I talk about them on social media? Maybe, kind of, sort of, not really. The vast majority of content that I'm putting out, it's not for me, Jasmine Star. It's for people like you who are watching. I just have come to believe that you're going to go farther in your business when you get a piece of content that makes you know, like, and trust me. And how do I make you know, like, and trust me? By sharing what I know. And if you come across any one of my accounts or pages and you're like, oh, I really like how this person is talking to me about this. My conversation is largely driven by marketing and business and building a brand. If that happens to resonate with you, then they will likely find you and they will stay. So the same way that you are maybe finding me because of marketing, because of branding, because of business, whatever it is that you're creating, fashion, lifestyle, health, parenting, whatever it is, find your lane, create content for your dream customer, and that is going to be the person who's going to stick around. AKA, not everybody who comes into your store from Main Street USA is going to be like, oh, I'm so happy I found your store. No, they're going to have to be further connected to who you are and what you do. Okay, let's get into, if you have questions, please feel free to leave them here. We're going to get this party started. Okay, actually, there was a couple questions that had come in, so I want to make sure that I get to those real quick. So, Amanda, is there a way to know that if the views we're getting on Reels aren't just bots? I did my first Reel, yay, and within an hour I had 3,000 views, but I'm nervous they weren't real people. So, Amanda, right now, Reels are the most engaging thing that you could be posting on your account. If you're getting 3,000 views, that's awesome. Now, we know that this Reel is obviously resonating with your audience, but please be certain that 3,000 views isn't 3,000 people seeing it. It could be one person watching 3,000 times, highly unlikely. It could be 3 people watching 1,000 times, highly unlikely. It could be 1,000 people watching 3 times. We don't know what that exact variance is, but it is very likely for your Reel to be viewed very well. Why? Because video is now being indexed higher, and you found a Reel that resonated extraordinarily well. Now, if you want to know who looked at your Reels, You can go through and Instagram recently, about a month ago, added insights so you can start seeing who's looking at your reels. Okay, Tiffany Rodriguez, do you think it's smart to share the journey while you're going through it? Going through a lot, but learning so much that I think I would or could truly help others that could be going through the same mental health struggles? Or is it better to wait till I'm over to share? So, Tiffany, there are people who talk about their business struggles in the middle of it, and people talk about business struggles at the end of it. There's no right or wrong. It's going to be right for you and your audience. If you asked my opinion, and please know my opinion shouldn't have any bearing on you, but I subscribe to the school of thought very similar to Brené Brown. She says it's best to talk about an experience from a scar, not a wound. Because if you have a scar on your body, it's healed. Now you could still see that something on your body was there, but you're no longer at a risk for it to open again. If you're talking about an experience and it's a wound, if you talk about it or somebody has an opinion about it or somebody says something about it or somebody pours salt in the wound, you're going to retract and be like even more hurt because you haven't led the time to heal it. So I'm going to repeat again. You can absolutely talk about your experience with your audience if you feel that's right for you. But if you're asking for my opinion, I'm going to cite and stay from personal experience. I'm going to venture to really speak about things once I've moved past them because I can look back and say, wow, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, but here's the thing that I lessened. Here's the thing that I learned from this lesson. The thing I don't want to do is be in the middle of it and like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try this. And anybody who's looking and watching will be like, okay, let me try this, this, and this. And all of a sudden, it's like the blind leading the blind. I would rather get through something, talk about the transformation, and then share the steps that help me get there. But again, personal opinion. You're going to figure out what's best for you. Okay, let's get into another one. The questions are coming in. Thank you guys so much. Okay, this question from Jenny. Will you be offering a social media planning masterclass anytime soon? I would love a refresher. Okay, friends, socialcurator.com/waitlist. If you get on that waitlist, you are going to be the first to know when we are going to be dropping our ongoing education classes. The team and I are so excited because we're building out new curriculum, new classes, new topics to go in deep. So be sure to sign up and you guys will be the first to know when those are going out. Okay, let's go into Kristen. How can you promote in a group without looking like you're promoting? Facebook groups are goldmine for reaching targeted audience, but groups have strict rules for advertising. Yes, Kristen, they do. In fact, the private group for Social Curator, we have a 0 pitch policy. You cannot be pitching other people in the group. Why? We want to keep it a safe zone so that we're all moving our collective businesses forward, not looking to other people to become business mechanisms. It's a slight nuance difference, but I have come to believe that sales will come on the back of content. I have seen sales happen on the inside of the Social Curator group, right in front of my eyes, and they didn't have to pitch. They just had to give. So for instance, if somebody asked a question around SEO, somebody can take just as much energy and say, I'm an SEO specialist, sign up for my free $1 class and you'll get a 50% discount on my hour consultation. Number one, that is not the way that I would ever recommend selling or promoting your services. Number two, that would never be permitted in the Social Curator Facebook group, and I'm pretty sure it would not be permitted in a lot of other Facebook groups, those hard pitches. However, I have seen people go in and give tips or feedback around SEO, and this person says, wow, and then the person who asked the question responds to the person who left the answer and said, wow, this information is so great. Like, how do I get more information? And awesome, instead of this person going back and pitching, well, sign up here, like, send me a personal message. And we can connect on there. Great. One-to-one, close it offline. So I have discovered that the best way to get sales or customers or hot leads from Facebook groups are not to pitch and not to sell, but to give content and speak to what I know. And lo and behold, when you give, it positions you as a place of authority, a place of benevolence, and a place of giving back. And when you give without anything in return, And when you give without having any expectations, and when you give and you share, people immediately say, oh, I know, like, and trust that person. That's a person I want to go deeper with. Great. And when they ask for more information, because they will, you're not going to pitch in the group. You're going to say, send me a DM, send me a personal message. And I wouldn't say, like, go to my website. I know there's a temptation to want to say, go to my website. I know that's there. But it's going to be easier for your hottest lead to stay on the platform. So stay on the platform by sending a DM. You can now send DMs, personal messages in Clubhouse, personal messages on Twitter, personal messages on Facebook, personal messages on Instagram. All of these great, amazing places to send personal messages. That one-to-one connection is actually where the sale will happen. It's stinking amazing. Okay, so I like to go live every single week and create content. Now, today I'm going to ask for like a big favor because I'm feeling so wildly under the weather. I like to come on and chat for like 20 to 25 minutes. I have been chatting now for 16 and I feel it in my throat. I'm like dying right now. And I'm like, do I keep on pushing through or do I just say like, what is one kind thing that I could do for my body today? And the kindest thing that I could do for my body is to listen that my body is saying, girl, stop talking, go and rest your voice, go and like finish work and take a nap and get a hot cup of tea and just lay down. So this is me ending this live chat. I like to keep them like 25 minutes. I'm going to end it a little early today. Forgive me for not going all the way, but right now, I just need a little bit of a break. If you are in my position and you're not feeling your greatest, I hope that you have just 10 or 15 minutes to close your eyes and get back to where you need to be. Friends, like always, every week, it is an honor and a privilege to chat. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for asking questions. And I'll be back next week, God willing, in better health and with my voice back intact. Have a good